Okay, so you want to be able to lane like a pro on the mid lane. That's fine. I'm going to teach you a few things in today's video about how to increase your chances of winning the mid lane. Since if you're in the mid lane, you're in a 1v1 situation, you want to be able to you want to win that 1v1 matchup to help your team. The faster you hit level 6 on most heroes that go mid, the faster you can get a kill on the enemy safe lane or their off lane, or just pick off some supports. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how to be as efficient as you can with when to get your runes, how to farm the creep wave efficiently, how to be safe, because the mid lane is an easy lane to gank. So what on earth is going on? We've got some creeps going on and it's not even 30 minutes in. Alright, no worries. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into the lane now. Actually, we're going to give ourselves the courier, just as we don't have to run back and forth all the time. And then we're going to turn down the volume for Dota first of all. Oh my word. There we go. That's more like it. So you always want to have at least 2 tangos. Now, preferably your team will give you 2 tangos, and then I see some people take clarities in lane with most heroes. I think a clarity is not a good choice, since you'll be getting a bottle. But something like a Zeus, then clarity is a good idea. But for what we're gonna go out with Lena with is we're probably just gonna take an enchanted mango just for a bit of regen. The regen's nice, and we want some stats, so we're gonna grab the iron branches. And why have we? Oh, it's because the god is ticking. That's fine. And then we're just gonna take a circlet, and potentially some armor that we can make into a Basilius or something like that later. Now the way you wanna play the mid lane is for your first three or so levels. You want to just hit the creep wave, get as much farm as you can as safely as you can. And oh my god, my lane's got on so much momentum. And then once you hit level 3, that's when it really starts to get a little bit easier. Now for your first 3 levels, what you'll want to do is you want to creep aggro. Now what that is what you want to do is you want to A-click the enemy hero. Now we're going to need an enemy hero for this, so we're going to create a hero. Let's do Nyx. I believe this is how you do it. There we go. So next you just go sit over there or something. Now the way you wanna draw aggro from the creep wave is you just wanna right click on the hero and then run back. Now because we've only got a range creep now, it won't make any difference. But where you want your creep wave ideally is you want them right here, so that you're uphill. The enemy can't see you. Well, they can if they got a creep up here or if they got a ward. Most of the time people tend to ward around here or here. And what you want to do is you just want to farm safely so that you can reach level 3 nice and safe. And then once you've reached level 3, actually we're just going to skip to the levels. Oh god. Wait, so hold on. Dash level up, and then we'll give ourselves 3 levels. There we go. So we're level 5 now. That's fine. So once you're playing a hero, say a hero like Shadow Fiend, Lena, Death Prophet, a hero that can clear a creep wave quickly, that's what you'll want to do. You'll want to clear your creep wave as soon as you can, and then basically it puts pressure on the enemy hero, because if the enemy hero has to tank the creep wave, then it gives you much more space, and basically you can then push some damage on the enemy tower, and then if the enemy hero can't clear a creep wave very easily, then they have to tank the creep. They have to try and last hit in under tower, which is it's a hard thing to do. Even pros struggle sometimes. So as I said, clear the creep wave as soon as you can. And another little trick you can do whilst you're farming the creep wave with your abilities is if we get Nyx. Where's Nyx at? Where's little buddy? If we get Nyx over here, what you want to do is you want to try and angle your creep wave clear, your creep clear, sorry, in such a way that the enemy hero gets hit by it. So let's go grab you, little Nix, and bring you over here. So say the enemy mid laner's there. Just angle yourself so that he gets hit as well at the same time. Reason is you're putting some pressure on him, you're dealing some damage, and you're farming the creep wave. And you want to save your creep wave clear so that you can use it as a last hit tool. So don't just throw it just now like that, because you're not getting any last hits. You're relying on your right click to get the last hits then, and you don't do anywhere near as much damage with your right clicks as you do with your ability. So what you want to do is you want to save it so that you have you can use it when you're about to get a last hit. And what you want to write, if all your creeps are focused on the same hero or the same creep, oh, looks like Nyx is gonna die, then just hit the other one, hit the other ones, because then you're gonna get more last hits with the with your ability, like so. And then you'll notice your creep wave's still alive to do a lot of damage to tower. Now the reason you want to do a lot of damage to tower is because in the mid lane, ideally you want to have taken the enemy tower before 10 minutes. That's how you know you've won the mid lane. You haven't won the mid lane. You know, if you've gotten 2 kills on the enemy mid laner, but their tower's still up and yours is down, then you haven't won the mid lane necessarily. To win the mid lane, you need to have properly pushed their tower and now be able to go and roam and hit some heroes. Since in lower level games, the mid lanes really need to help the other lanes, and you want to take the tower as soon as you can. Now, the second thing I want to talk about is rune control. Now, most mid laners always get a bottle, because you know you've got the rune right there. It's easy to fill yourself back up. But what you want to do is you want to clear the creep wave that comes just before the rune spawns, so then you can go get the rune whilst your creep wave is dying, but the enemy creep wave is already dead. Reason is, if you're going to get the rune when the enemy creep wave is dying, you're missing out on XP, you're missing out on farm, and you don't need to miss out on that stuff. So if you clear the creep wave whilst you're clear the creep wave just before you go get the rune, then you can get the rune, and then you won't miss. I mean, I missed one CS there, and I went all the way top and then back to bot, and that was because I didn't have a ward telling me where the rune was. That wasn't very good. So yeah, so what you want to make sure you do is play safe until you got your first few levels, since your creep wave, your wave clear ability usually won't be strong enough to clear the wave quite as efficiently early levels. Then when you get your rune, make sure you clear the creep wave before the rune spawns, so you can go get the rune and come back to your lane before the enemy creep wave starts dying again. Because every time you're not in lane and a creep dies here, you're missing out on very important XP, which you need. You know, you're the mid laner, you expect it to hit 6 as soon as you can. And then once you're level 6, depending on what hero you play, you might want to go for a gank, maybe wait a little bit longer, farm. The playstyle for mid lately is been a lot more of sort of sit back and farm, play a much more carry orientated role. But a surprise gank is always useful. You know, it's always good to surprise the enemy with a gank. Now you'll notice the rune's about to spawn, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to kill this creep wave as soon as I can. I hate Lena's attack animation. And I'm going to go pick up the rune. And if you have killed the enemy creep wave, and the enemy hasn't killed your creep wave, then he's not going to be able to go to the rune. And if he does, he's going to miss on so much XP. You know, an entire creep wave is almost a level. And you know, you don't want to be missing that. So if you're making him miss out on it, then you know that's fine. If you're missing a rune for him to be able to pick up, for him, you know, if he's missing that entire creep wave of XP, then that's fine. If your enemy laner isn't in lane with you and you've already taken the tier 1, then there's no need to actually push. Now, because if you do push, you're just going to put yourself in danger. Now, the only time you ever really want to push if the enemy mid laner is not in lane and you've already taken the tier 1 is if you are planning to go into the jungle. So push that creep wave and then go farm your jungle camps just here. Because if you've got creep wave, if you've got wave clear, sorry, excuse me, then you can kill these camps pretty easily. I mean, unfortunately, I don't have mana because I've just been burning away and not actually been looking after my mana. And I haven't actually got my my Yules or my boots to give me my mana regen. There we go. Pick those up, and then we'll pick the stuff up for the Yules. Now, on certain heroes like Shadow Fiend and Lina and stuff like that, people often think that your Yules is only for the setup for the kill. Now that's completely wrong. Although Yules is useful in that way, you know, for Lina you can set up the stun, for Shadow Fiends you can set up the big ultimate. But the main reason they're good items on these heroes is because these heroes need mana to be able to lane and to farm. You know, they can't farm without their mana. And Yules gives you huge amount of regen because you get 10 intelligence, which is really strong on your intelligence heroes already. But then you get 150 extra mana regen. Now 2.5 mana regen is a lot more than whatever it was before. It would have been about 1.9, I imagine. Oh god, I missed that. So yeah, so remember, farm safely for your first two or three levels, and creep aggro. Draw the creep wave so that it's here. That's where you want your creep wave. If you're here and you're playing against a ranged hero, then drag them back a little bit further. You know, you're here and the enemy's there. If he tries to attack you, first of all, he's got uphill miss. So 50% of his hits aren't going to hit you. Second thing is, if you're sat right here, you're much less gankable than if you're sat here, say. Because if you're sat here, an enemy support will come in from here and just come up behind you and you're dead. Or if you're sat on this side, he'll come in from over here. So you want to be nice behind this line here, really. And the way you do that is you bring your creep wave to here. Next thing is, once you hit level 3, always try and push the lane in a safe way. If you see any heroes missing on the map, say you're playing against there's a Rubik and a Disrupt on enemy team, and suddenly you see that their safe laner is just got nobody in lane with them, then play safe. You know, just because your team doesn't call missing doesn't mean that they're not missing. Now the best way to do that is always every 5 seconds or so, just check the map, do a quick head count. How many heroes can you see? If you can't see as many, and you know, the first time you don't see as many, you know, you might want to, you know, sort of be cautious, but you don't have to get back straight away necessarily, and you can wait for a little bit longer. And then if the second head count you've still got heroes missing, then you want to play safe and get back, because if you play safe and get back, you're harder to gank. And if you don't die, you're more likely to win the lane, because the more time you spend in lane, the more farm you get, the more XP you get, and the more pressure you can put on the enemy tower. Now, I can't stress this enough. The only way you can win your lane is if you do not die. If you die, the enemy laner is going to get more XP, he's going to get more farm, and going for a death isn't necessarily a good thing. Especially if you've been out farming them, a death for a death is actually quite good for them, because you'll be worth a lot more than they will. And when you die, you know, you're giving if you're higher level, you're giving them more time to farm, because they're going to respawn before you. Now, before you used to be, it didn't matter too much because Nina had the respawn time, but she doesn't have that anymore. So just try not to go for one deaths. And if you're playing against a tanky hero and you believe you might be able to burst them down, but you're not quite sure, just don't dive them, because if you dive and the enemy team has any coordination whatsoever, the supports will TP in and you're gonna die. And as we said, you don't want to die 1-for-1s. Anyway, I hope this guide was useful for you, but do remember, play safe until you're level 3, clear the creep waves once you're level 3 really fast, put some pressure on the enemy hero, but remember, do your head counts on the map, because if somebody's missing, then you could be getting ganked. And clear the enemy creep wave just before the runes spawn. If you can, try and get somebody to place a ward on one of the runes, and if they don't want to and they're being really stubborn, then just get your own ward and do it. Because 65 gold to be able to win your lane even harder is definitely worth it. Alright, I hope this video was helpful for you. Please let me know if it was. And I'll see you guys next time.